Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is Thursday, and every other week we have the pleasure of speaking with the CEO of Hemlane. How you doing, Dana?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. One of the things that maybe if you're new to the channel, you may not know is Dana and I started working together long before Hemlane was created. She reached out because I had some units, talked about, hey, what do landlords need? So I've been involved with Hemlane for quite a while. And here recently, we've been talking, I think, for more than a year now, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. But one of the things that you've done for me and the community of one rental at a time is you've taken this idea of a 30-day trial, which you have always had, I'm sure, but you actually created a free PDF, which is in my free course. People go to Teachable and get it. It's there. It's totally free. And then if you're in my course, you actually did videos, right? The CEO of Hemlane did, I don't know, was it like 12 videos where you broke down how to do a 30-day trial? Do you remember all that?
Yeah. It was a fun weekend putting that together.
It was a fun weekend recording and re-recording and recording and re-recording.
I know. I think I did one of the videos like 80 times.
But folks, the reason I want to talk to you here is there's a lot more people, I think, going to be coming to real estate probably over the next year, right? I've been in this show before. The stock market is tanking, crypto is tanking. People, there's a bank run now on stable coins. It's just all kinds of scary. What's going to happen when the dust settles is people are going to look up and go, hey, what is real? And a lot of people are going to be coming to real estate. So a lot of you don't have rentals yet. A lot of you like the idea of being a landlord. What I want to strongly suggest to you is you go to hemlane.com this weekend and get the 30-day trial. I want you to invite your friends, make it a weekend, make it make it like a 2-3 week thing where you're the landlord, then you're a tenant, then you have maintenance requests, and just go be a landlord and see how the system works, how the communication works, how the audit trail works, how you collect money, how you spend money, just all the stuff that's in the trial. What do you think of that, Dana?
Yeah, no, I think it's a fantastic idea, especially if you're just getting into real estate investing or you're in it and you're saying, hey, I need to know a little bit more about the transparency and having that transparency into my asset. And this will give you don't even have to have a property to do it. You can basically go through situations you've been through, you've heard of like repair requests, responding to tenants, qualifying tenants, like anything like that. You can basically go through and see what it would be like. I think the 30 days is also something really important because the reason we have that, and we've seen most platforms are at 14 days and they say do a 14-day free trial for conversion optimization. And we're like, that's terrible because everyone, what if you start at, you can't even go through rent collection. You can't even try to collect rent. And so we try to make it where you can go through the process and be like, okay, great. It's a 12th. But rent is due on the 1st. Let me go through a 30-day trial as if rent were due on June 1st and how that would happen. So really, do you have a full life cycle of like a 1 month of what it's like to have a tenant in that property or to have a vacant property and advertise it and say, my goal is to place a tenant within 30 days.
Yeah. Again, work with your friends, right? A lot of people do these trials and they kind of do it by themselves. Hemlane is a platform where you could invite friends over for pizza, have it be a long weekend and go, hey, I'm the landlord this time. And you're going to be the landlord next time or whatever. And just do all the things, right? Collect rent, qualify rent, have something break, have something be emergency. Just again, I talk about my course, right? How to get started one rental at a time, buy box, daily discipline, but I only ask for 20 minutes. Once you look at your buy box, you're done. If you're new, go pretend to be a landlord for a while. Go see what it's like. Maybe you're going to like it. Maybe you'll hate it. I don't know. Go give it a shot.
And the good thing about doing it with friends is that if you're doing it yourself, you're not going to potentially put yourself in the other person's shoes. So if you have like one friend who you say you're going to be the tenant and you're going to be a perfect tenant, you are now a prospective tenant who is a professional tenant. And what I mean by professional tenant is they know tenant landlord law very well, and they try to get around things and make your life difficult. Like, let's go ahead and have another friend as that type of tenant. Now let's have this person as the leasing agent who's going to potentially show the property if you don't have time. Oh, and let's have this other friend be the plumber in Hem Lane, where I put their information in and they're the plumber who gets the request. And let's see how everyone goes through and interacts in the system. And I think that's actually a fantastic way to see what it would be like in real life.
Yeah. And again, a lot of people are today talking about doing out-of-state investing, right? I talked to a lot of people in California. They get enamored with out-of-state because out-of-state is cheaper. All right, go for it. Go put an out-of-state property, see what it's like. And again, see what becomes easier, see what becomes more difficult, see what works, see what doesn't work. I just think more and more people need to get out of the headspace of the financial markets are crashing. And one of the great things to do is go practice being a landlord. If you really want to be a landlord and that's your thing, go get a 30-day trial, go spend 5, 10, 15 hours in it and see what it's like.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
And one other thing I would say with it is it really does help when you go through the process and put yourself in the other person's shoes to really understand how to align incentives, because landlording can be very successful. But most people fantasize about it. They say, oh, stocks, that was terrible to put my money into it. I had no control. So now I'm going to change my investment strategy and go to real estate where I have a lot more control. Yeah. And with that, you do have the control, but you always have someone on the other side of the table, whether it is a tenant, whether it is someone supporting you with your property management, like a leasing agent, some sort of manager, or a maintenance, like a repairman. And you always have that. And so if you can put yourself in their shoes of why they're saying certain things, you can actually set yourself up and align incentives as you go through the 30-day free trial.
Yeah. And again, I think if you're going to do this right, folks, it's 30 days. You be the landlord one weekend, then next weekend they're the landlord, and just really see how it's like. Because again, what Dana's really talking about to me is real estate investing is a people business. People are involved when you're finding deals, when you're working on deals, when you're managing people. It's all about a people business. And some people will disappoint you and some people won't. In my experience, 90-95% of tenants are awesome, hardworking families. There's 5% that need to be reminded that rent's due. And then, you've got 2 or 3% that are just truly problems. So go practice. And Dana, where can they get this 30-day trial?
You can go to Hemlane, HEMLANE.com, and just mention one rental at a time. And with it, when you go through that process, keep in mind that, yes, you will have tenants where there are those disagreements, right? Or something where, hey, they didn't really read the lease through. And the more you practice it and the more you go through the process, because 72% of real estate investors self-manage. So the more you go through the process, the better you get. It's that like hands-on learning. You learn a lot better by doing it. You learn a lot better when you make mistakes. There's a reason Michael and I can kind of pick up things because we've probably been there. But when we were there, I mean, for me, it was 6 years ago. For you, it was a little bit longer. But you go through a lot of those mistakes initially. And when you actually go through the mistake yourself, it hits you so much harder that you won't make that mistake again. And you'll make it a great experience for you, for your tenants, for your service professionals that you're working with. And so it's much better to get that hands-on experience before you're in the real world with it.
Totally agree. Again, hemlane.com. Go check it out. Make it a weekend. Have some fun. Thanks, Dana.
Thanks so much.